Hey everybody, welcome back to another reaction video. This is the most recent video by Mr. One-Ups, who's fucking hilarious and one of my favorite PokeTubers. Or I guess favorite rankless tubers. I don't know, he's kind of both in my opinion. But we're reacting to him ranking all 20 friendship evolutions, and I'm going to react to some of its other videos that I either have already seen and forgotten about, or ones I haven't seen before. But with that out the way, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into this.
Most Pokemon are simple enough to evolve. You get them on the weights, skim a stone at them, take them for a quick few laps down the magnetic fields. But there's a set 20 as it stands, who are a lot more stubborn about it. Evolving Zubat to Golbat was a simple transition. You know, there was a mutual understanding between us as a trainer to Pokemon. But from there, he wants to get serious, starts asking the crossroads questions in the relationship. Is 4-foot tall mouth piping up with the, so, what are we? I want to evolve into a Crobat, and now he's saying, whoa, you want to see my final form? At least buy me dinner first. There's 20, and we've had like 3 since I even kicked off making Pokemon videos. Evolution these days is a bit more than rubbing their head with a stylus. More about standing under the right bit of shade in the desert and self-harming your body count till it's high enough for Mother Nature to go, nice kill streak, Marine. Hoorah, you've earned yourself another evolution. You know, I'd rather be buying them dinner first. Rather take Crabrawler to Nando's than the peak of Mount Vincent. You can't exactly be comparing these bicep to bicep when half of them are pampered babies. So obviously, it's just gonna be mostly based on my scuffed thoughts. But at the same time, I'm gonna try to go about these in terms of them being friendship evolutions. Like, are they worth the hassle? Are they worth the trouble of giving a nice back massage, keeping them on their leash, giving them the most amount of fresh air outside of their ball? So these are the 20 friendship evolutions. So overall, I have to say, these are a fairly inoffensive 20, which only makes it so much more blatant just how dirty Swoobat is to look at. If I owned a Woobat, I'd be bullying him, shoved into lockers, swirlies, holding his wings upside down and shaking all the money out of his pockets, stealing all of the Stacys from him. I would provide the full immersive 80s high school bully experience, which I'm sure many people these days would charge money for that kind of genuine experience. But look, I'm a nice enough guy. I'm not gonna charge him money for it. I just can't have Woobat knowing that I'm a nice enough guy, because then it'll feed into the friendship mechanic. Because look, it's for its own good. I can't have him thinking I'm his friend. It's the lesser of two evils causing negative friendship, because I'm preventing it from ever reaching this vile form. I'm doing him a favor. With Swoobat, they say, anyone who comes into contact with the ultrasonic waves emitted by a courting male experiences a positive mood shift. Why would you even want to be near a Pokemon whose main hustle is courting? Who even calls it that these days? Just say you're dropping game. Look, if you're dropping
I'm loving this so fucking much already, and it's barely been 3 minutes.
game, just say you're trying to drop game. Don't get all these pretentious insult synonyms involved. He's trying to convert you to the dark side. First, it starts off with hearing what these ultrasonic waves are saying. Then there's 1,000 hours of total playtime on Smash Ultimate, and 95% of that time is spent staring at Lucario's trophy. Evolution has hardwired this creature to have all the tools necessary to get with you. Same genetic hardwiring as Johnny Bravo. Swoobat's over here trying to spike your drinks through noise. Honestly, looking at this weapon, it's gonna need every single courting tool it can handle. The boot of his car's gotta be filled up like Dennis Reynolds from Always Sunny. Cable ties, duct tape, gloves, the full Ainsley. Purely from a nature standpoint, the red flags are so blatant. Biologically, you should be very opposed to a creature whose nose is shaped like the tide's second most vital organ of the human body. That's why the only way it can get anyone to willingly look in its direction is through noise pollution. Just proves the point that us men, we only know how to flirt via barking like a dog.
Early payday, fee-free overdrafts, no monthly fee. Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
Dog. Now this is...
I'll try to cut out the ads, but I'm not the best at editing, but I will try my best.
isn't a bad Pokemon at all. I'm talking about it purely as a friendship evolution. Really think about it, because I've got to say, very bold move of them to make, of all Pokemon, Lopunny the result of a friendship evolution. Yeah, just trying to evolve this Bunnery. Bonding, power of friendship, and all that. You know how it is. Taking them to the park, giving them sweets, and back rubs, grooming them. Oh no, it's not grooming. I'm not grooming anyone. I don't groom. I pay someone to do the grooming for me. Until it's old enough to be a Lopunny. What kind of Christian core is this? The most vile trainers out there gaslighting Bunneries into thinking they're in safe hands, just waiting for them to be comfortable enough to transform into their own personal Playboy bunny. Hopefully those poor rabbits managed to make it to level 28 before the friendship got too high. At least give them the chance to use Baton Pass and switch out to the police. It's really difficult to have something be a friendship evolution when I barely even remember Leaveney's existence. It makes sense for a baby Pokemon, for rare Pokemon, things you have to roll your sleeves up a bit to evolve. But there's no chance I'm taking Swadloon down for an hour-long back massage every 24 in-game hours just to conjure up a specimen that blends in with the rest of the Unova Pokedex. Maractus is genuinely more memorable than Leaveney. Maybe this is due to how forgettable Maractus was, which conversely made it more memorable, as it's become known for being the most forgettable, thus creating a paradox of sorts. I'd understand if this required like a leaf or maybe a sunstone to evolve. There's still a bit of a stretch there. It'd still be a low priority to be stoned and all. But the gift...
I mean, if it wasn't a friendship evolution, I could see using a leaf stone.
The friendship for this? How do you expect me to maintain a long-term friendship with a creature that looks like it wouldn't survive the season of autumn? I'm prepared to train a Pokemon, but you've lost me at spoon-feeding it leaves until it likes me enough to evolve. Baby Pokemon are maybe my least favorite brand of Pokemon. Random fun factoid, Houndoom happens to be one of my all-time favorite Pokemon. Do with that information.
It's one of my favorites, too. I'm actually working on an all-dog team on Violet. I should really check on those team members I have, and Houndoom is one of them.
What you must. Pikachu, Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Peekaboo. Once you have to friendship up just to get the middle evolution. I like all four individually, but as friendship evolutions, not really in the transfer market for making friends right now. I'd rather just take a trip down to Kanto and Johto, catch them pre-built, you know? We're gonna go ahead and skip the part where I've got to chuck them Maltesers and take them out for spa days, you know. Baby spas. Japan probably has a few. They've got them all-you-can-eat KFCs and those, prostitute family dinners. I'm sure you can...
Say what? Also, I don't... The baby Pokemon aren't my favorites. I mean, they are really cute, but that's basically it.
You can find a place that'll sort out your infant's pulled hamstring. It doesn't help that you're not even getting the complete package after all of that friendship effort. Telling me I've taken him to Disneyland, I've still got a graft to get the end products. Man, I got him a photo of Baymax. They met Baymax. What more does a trainer even have to do? With most of the others, it's at least the end game. A big payoff.
Oh, that's a shiny crow, man. That's pretty cool.
Hopefully, but here it just feels like unnecessary effort, and it only really exists for the sake of them having the gimmick of them being baby Pokemon. Because it makes sense for baby Pokemon to evolve this way, and I understand if you want specific moves that are only available this way, you know, it makes those moves more exclusive, so I wouldn't change it. I'll just be having the daycare deal with the day-to-day child raising, and just send them in the post back to me when they're finally old enough to not resent me. Even in Gen 3, Roselia just seemed unfinished. All that time spent lurking around the daycare, you'd figure it'd get some Ditto action of its own and spawn up a child form. Jeez, that Ditto! His alimony payments must be through the roof! It comes under the same category as the Kanto and Johto baby friend evolutions, but I'm gonna have it slightly higher, because I've always thought Roselia felt like a middle piece. I don't think that with Pikachu or Clefairy, but Badu coming in makes it feel like it was always supposed to be that way to complete the the trio. But even so, when these things are growing by the dozen 3 badges deep into the Hoenn region, even if there's some insane moveset it can only learn from being raised straight from the bud, I'd rather scavenge for heart scales, catch me at the bottom of the ocean to avoid raising a kid, have to salvage up whatever the move shooter is keen for these days, and I'll just have them sorted. Base form Persian is very boring. There's a reason why it stays in the office for the Don Giovanni, because it's a house cat. It's a paperwork Pokemon. It's a distraction around the office when Giovanni can't be asked signing off checks or practicing his putt into a giant mug, whatever those sorts do. But Alolan Persian looks like he's up to no good. And isn't that just the Team Rocket way? It looks stupid, right? You're not wrong.
Incredibly stupid. I mean, Alolan Meowth I like, but Alolan Persian, why is its head so spherical? I do not like that at all.
But man, at least it's getting a reaction out of me, so I don't really mind the look it has going on down in Alola. But in the Pokemon universe, this might be...
I mean, I guess it's tolerable, but I still don't like it.
One of the hardest evolutions to pull off. They've created some kind of paradox with Alolan Persian by slapping the friendship method onto a house cat who hates all of you. You've got a bond with one of the most stubborn creatures going, hardwired by evolution to live in luxury. The only people capable of evolving Alolan Meowth. Get your wallet out and check your money, you'll find their faces on them. Imagine having to raise a little dickhead cat like Garfield, who had a comically large craving for A5 Japanese Wagyu steaks and a dip into the overdraft far quicker than microwave lasagnas for din-dins every night. That much of an investment. Also, you can get a Persian that's refusing to spit out an Ed and Eddie Jawbreaker. I understand that baby Pokemon mostly exist for lore reasons, to expand the Pokemon world as we know it. That's why I don't actually mind Chimecho getting one. All of those cute, marketable ones are obvious in hindsight, but who would have had a Chimecho baby form on their Skybear Akka going into Gen 4? Chimecho's not exactly a world ender in the Octagon, but not every Pokemon has to be a big old hard man who's too big for a bit of pink gin now and then. It's perfectly fine just to have some who are there to expand the lore, to just be a fun design, to just be a funny little character and exist. Going from a Suzu Bell to a Wind Bell. Sometimes creativity is all a Pokemon needs. Doesn't have to be a flavorless prison smoothie that has all nutrients required to keep you healthy. Could be a frothy Oreo milkshake with 0 nutritional benefits. What I mean is, I'd rather have weirdos like Chimecho who have 0 real motive and aren't the most battle-hardened roaming Pokemon than a creature called Cube, the cardboard Pokemon with 600 base stat. His baby's loaded with every single move you'll ever need. To first reach the evolution of friendship, you must first reach the belly. The catalyst to evolution is right there with a tummy full of grog and berries. So for a region that's so heavy on sandwich consumption like Paldea, it seemed like a prime spot of land to make some friends. Friends who can never leave. Nice and trapped in your pocket. But they don't mind, because you feed them slowpoke tail curries, some sweet and sour Growlithes here and there. For such a food-oriented region, and not a single new friendship evolution introduced to Capita.
Damn, I did not think about that. Yeah, we didn't get a new friendship evolution for Paldea. That would have made a lot of sense.
Lies on it. So the latest of a dying breed, it seems, is Frostmoth. Even then, it was a stretch Snom managed to evolve this way, since it's one of the few quirky Galar evolutions that stick to the classic methods. None of that deal 49 HP's worth of damage to your firstborn child, spot Mr. Saguaro for a new bench press PR, and get Regirock a Big Mac. Right, eh? All you need to do is take him for a walk around the park and lick him a few berries. Simple as. I'm very surprised this...
Snom's one of my favorite Pokemon.
This is just an Ice Stone job. But I welcome the idea of befriending a small worm character. Frostmoth pleases me aesthetically, and I'd have this little worm evolved within the hour, because Snom is just too likable to not be friends with. I'd have him friendshipped up so quickly, Snom would be entering the sesh belly to the ground and leaving midair. Within the lore, the friendship mechanic is spot on for Pokemon like Silverly, a legendary power boost released through a strong bond with a trainer it trusts. Or to put it less dramatically, a synthetic Pokemon who learned to love life after being fed too many poffins. I really like Silverly's design. It's a perfect friendship evolution lore-wise, but
I agree, it is a perfect evolution lore-wise, and it's a badass design.
it's just not an evolution though, is it? It's just not. It's more like a form change than anything. I forget Type Null and Silverly are even separate Pokemon. You telling me you're not just the same Pokemon with the headgear removed? No chance a big cutscene plays with Type Null glowing all white, metamorphosizing just to take a helmet off. Null's evolution cutscene was just a guy looking to slide the helmet off, going around its neck, greasing him up with butter. It's like if you ripped the champ's belt off and its belly spilled out all over the place, and for some reason Pokemon professors decided it was a fourth evolution called Machub. I think it's understandable it took 10 or so years for Pokemon scientists to discover Snorlax had a baby form. I thought it was assumed that the Snorlax species play by ogre rules and consume their young on sight. How could he resist? They're just asking for it with all that sweet, sweet honey in that belly. Ooh, that filled up like a Ferrero Rocher. I think Snorlax is a prime friendship evolution, because realistically, Snorlax is one you'd want to be stocking up the friendship points with anyway. Makes sense Munchlax is a bit stubborn to evolve, because if you own a Snorlax, you better be praying it likes you. There's a fine balance though. You don't want him to like you too much, because you know, I mean, what are you gonna do about it? Like, imagine you came home after a day at work, Snorlax has been alone in the house all day. Imagine that runs towards you like a dog, staring death in the face in the form of a drooling cement truck. Togetic, premier staple buddy transformation, and such a clean design. It has a rare aura to it. It felt like a mythical, because Togetic is a Pokemon you just straight up don't see very often at all. Togepi was one of the Johto babies which felt necessary to exist outside of lore building and marketable plushies. You get out what you put in. Invest some good vibes into Togepi, and Togetic spawns to return the favor. In Togepi takes a long time to evolve. How long was Misty lugging that egg around? Did that little freeloader even evolve? You with Ash Ketchum in the group. What more friendship do you need, you greedy yoke? But look, it's worth the hassle. Trust me, just babysit for a little while and reap the rewards. Because once you pass the friendship stage, Togetic can hook you up. Yeah? You know, with some of that joy dust. You know, the kind that gives you visions of psychedelic beta King Politoed. Anything necessary to get all the way to Togekiss is worth the trouble of carrying Togepi on CSGO every now and then. I'd happily have Togepi bombard my messages with dead TikToks and Instagram reels it finds funny for the sake of friendship, to get me a Togetic and then eventually get me a Togekiss. Chansey, the happiness Pokemon, whose eggs could fry you up a full English that cures both your hunger and depression. It makes the most sense it would evolve from friendship when its own eggs are the source point of serotonin. This is probably illegal. People would be scranning Chansey eggs before going into a rage. Chansey can just consume itself until it's like,
yeah, that's it for me. Me belly's full. If I eat any more of them eggs, I'll bloody turn into one. What are you staring at?
your man goes to his trainer like, alright, that's it. You fed me. Enough of me. I'm feeling wavy. I'm buzzing, ready to go to the great blissy beyond. Give me that extra 5 HP. Let's get this evolution sorted. Have them fried, scrambled, drink your depression away with a double raw Chansey egg and coke. No need for the back rubs and all the items. Can get a hold of Blissey through this form of pseudo-cannibalism. Oddly convenient for such a grind of an evolution method. Well-deserved graft for a weapon like Blissey. These shouldn't just be handed out by the Amazon Prime pickup NPCs at the Poké Center. If anything, friendship evolution isn't enough of a barrier to entry for getting Blissey. Something like this needs a paywall, like Porygon at the casino. You thought that was expensive as a kid. Blissey should be maxing out the battle points wallet to get a hold of. It should be the 100k mega jackpot down the blackjack table. I'll tell you what, you can get the Blissey, but you've got to clear out our man Ditto in a game of poker. An interesting choice for a friendship evolution coming off one of the franchise's most hated Pokemon for owning a majority share in random wild encounters. Understandable how Crobat was discovered 3 years after the Zubat line. That's actually a fairly quick time it managed to find someone that willingly liked Zubat enough to be friends with one to get this far.
I like Zubat, but it is very annoying that you keep bumping into him.
Getting chummy with Golbat, it doesn't seem like an easy task. Golbat doesn't strike me as the sort who likes a bit of laser tag, who you could take for a romantic stroll down the beach. Alright, fine Golbat, you get to pick the activity this time. We'll hang upside down in caves, lurking for oncoming prey. But next weekend, we're going mini-golf. This is a proper graft raising a Golbat. Fair enough, Munchlax eats 100 kilos of scran a day. Uber Eats better deliver via log carrier. A logistical nightmare, but he'll eat anything. Golbat is a fussy eater. The way you're getting a hold of 3 mega gulps worth of blood on the daily. I don't know about this sort of thing. Can you just purchase blood straight? Just as a civilian? Like, do they do student discount? No idea about the inner mechanisms, what the metagame is for accessing large quantities of blood. But to me, it's not sound and sustainable. As difficult as it sounds establishing any kind of emotional connection with a Golbat that doesn't involve primal biological fear. Crobat is one of the few here that was very necessary for it. Golbat needed a beef up, and something had to be done about that mouth breathing. I rate Crobat's design very highly, even though it looks a bit separate from the Zubat line, because I kinda like how goofy Golbat looks. I'd really want to see how a third form would have looked if they kept it all freaky and really see what that tongue do. But I'd never want Crobat to have never existed either. Sleek design, and I'm a sucker for anything purple. Purple.
Like I said, guys, I will try to cut out all those ads.
The evolutions in the people's eyes are all near enough bangers, but how you'd order those 8 is where things start to get a bit heated maybe. But I don't think anyone out there is disputing that Umbreon and Espeon are universal bangers.
Hell yeah, they are.
Exactly why in Pokemon Colosseum you get zero say in the matter when it comes to starter Pokemon. They gave you them both straight because they know literally 0 people would be pissing and moaning about it. Every single child with a GameCube were gonna eat what they were given. And they were eating good. Catch 8-year-old me with an Umbreon and Espeon shaped belly, because I wasn't complaining. Maybe a controversial take to have Sylveon neck and neck with the elite night and day duo. Then again, Sylveon seems to pipe up in every popularity poll alongside him anyway. For some reason, I still feel as though Sylveon's a bit of a polarizing one to give top ratings towards. I'm gonna anyway. Those polls are right. Can easily hang with the other top Eevee forms. Based on this list, there's very few Pokemon out there that'd make me go out of my way to go through with the friendship mechanic. Yet Eevee, I'd be willing to do it 3 times over. Even without 3 banger evolutions, Eevee's one of the few Pokemon where you feel obligated to actually be friends with it. One of the most pet-like mons you could get a hold of. Because realistically, I know the whole franchise, it loves to preach about the power of friendship and the importance of bonding with your Pokemon. But most of these aren't your friends. They're just not your friends. Although, if you were a Pokemon breeder, professor, doctor, fair enough, the ones you have, they probably are mates with you. But what I mean is if you were trying to become a powerful battler, which, as we play the games, is what you kind of do, because that's where it becomes more of a career thing. There comes a limit where you're like, I really do love you. Shuckle. Well, I've got to get serious. I've got a mortgage to pay off, and Metagross will pay it off in like half the time as you also. And that's where they become much less friends and far more work acquaintances. Like, do you really consider that Alolan Muck to be a good friend of yours? No, you don't invite it.
I mean, it would save me money and shit on trash bags, because it eats trash. So, I would consider it a friend if I had one. Just gotta be careful with my carpet.
To the cookout, you only keep him about for his defensive type combination. Don't lie to me. You only like him for his assets. I wouldn't want to be mutuals with you if that's how you treat what you consider good friends of yours. Imprisoned on your belt buckle, released for combat purposes only. Your best buddies have the same utility for you as a pocket knife. But Eevee is one Pokemon that's immune to the acquaintance phase. No matter how cold-hearted you are about trying to be a powerful battler, Eevee's friends with everyone. Definitely gets invited to the cookout. I'm not retconning where I stand on Lucario. I still think it's overrated, a bit too forced on the merch, a bit too much unwarranted main character syndrome, and I still firmly stand by my biggest and maybe only Pokemon conspiracy that Lucario was strategically designed and promoted to counteract Pokemon's declining popularity compared to the 90s peak, partially due to the fans growing up and it phasing out of being a trend. So they plant the seeds and condition the youth of 2007 from a young age to become furries. And that way, they'll never grow out of Pocketmon. 16 years later, the numbers don't lie. But as a friendship evolution, how can I drag him here? It's rare, very powerful, definitely a worthy mainstay on almost any team. I can't argue against it being the most worthy Pokemon to have the friendship stipulation slapped onto it. It's deserving of a barrier to entry. You shouldn't be getting one of these too easily. You shouldn't just be able to walk into like a Walmart and just buy a weapon like this off the shelves. Like any sort of lethal weapon someone buys, they shouldn't be getting Tesco club card points for it, even if you're talking pure strength within these 20. And obviously, of course Lucario's winning. It's up against Evolutions, fresh out the baby phase. It's like sicking Khabib on a year 3 PE class. PE class.
Alright, everybody, that's gonna do it for this video. I can't talk. I have some editing to do with this.